Thank you for visiting Ask a Developer. Today, we're going to get started by creating our first iOS application with Xcode. Once you launch Xcode, you'll need to create a new project. You can create a new project by clicking on this, or you can go to File, New, Project. Choosing the appropriate template for your project or application is very important. There are a variety of templates you can choose from, but for now, we're going to select the single view application. I suggest at some other point you come back and you play and see what these other templates can provide. The product name is the name we'll give our application. Since this is our first application, we'll call it My First Application. Organizational name is the name of your computer, but you can change this to whatever you like. The company identifier is a unique string which Xcode uses together with the product name to create the application's bundle identifier. Apple recommends using the reverse domain name lookup, but this can be whatever you want. It just needs to be unique for your application in which you submit it to the App Store. Next is the device type that we're going to develop this application for. There are three options. There's the iPad, iPhone, and Universal. Universal allows your application to have one app that is a cross-platform application running on both the iPad and iPhone. For now, we're going to select iPhone, but we can change this at any other time. We're going to select we want to use storyboards, automatic reference counting, and including test units. For more information on these, please visit Apple's website and documentation. Here we're selecting the location where we want to save everything. We're going to save it to our documents, and we'll hit Create. Before we move on, I want to take a few minutes to explore Xcode's user interface. As you can see, there are four distinct areas. There's the toolbar at the top, the Navigator on the left, the main view in the center, and to the right, the inspector. Now, whatever we have highlighted in the Navigator will be displayed in the main view. If the main view has certain properties or elements that are necessary to edit or manipulate, those will be displayed in the inspector on the right. Over in the Navigator, we can see that My First Application is selected. As a result, the main view displays our project settings, and we can see a summary of those settings. We can see the bundle identifier, which we defined when we first created our app, the version number associated with our application, and if we decide to at any time, we can change our application to be supported on an iPad or a universal app. You might want to change your supported device orientations. To do that, simply uncheck or click on these orientations. I'm going to select that our device application is going to be supported only in portrait. Right now, we don't have any app icons or any launch images. We'll come back to these later, and I'll show you what we do to insert these images and icons within our app. Now that you're familiar with the Xcode layout, let's take a look at Storyboard. Storyboard is where we'll design and lay out our application and add elements such as labels and buttons. To see what our application looks like, let's build it in the simulator. To do that, go to your toolbar and select Simulator, and then click Run. As you can see, there's nothing really interesting but a white background. Stop the simulator, and then over in your inspector, let's drag a label to our storyboard. Rename the label My First Application. We'll stretch this out a little bit. Make sure it's centered. And then we'll rebuild our application. And there you go. You've just built your first iOS application. Later, we'll explore some additional things that we can do to enhance this application